the Spirit Breaker and pose a threat to the Luna's laning stage. It would at least tie the Kunkka a bit more to that bottom lane, but we'll see if that's going to be the plan. Z-Freak already heading towards the top lane now.
So this mid lane matchup, Cancel on Mirana up against, of course, Nanar's Timbersaw. Do we expect to see a hero kind of run away with this lane, or is it just going to be a case of even trade with the farm?
Pretty even trade. Mirana's right-click damage doesn't really harass or zone a Timber very much. Timber just stacks up the reactive armor, so there's no way to really zone him. We'll see a very even matchup between the two. If anything, maybe even ever so slightly Timber favored, at least initially, with all the reactive armor he can get.
Bottom lane, we can see Monkey's just hiding in the trees as we're trying to sap XP. But there's dual lanes at the moment coming up from WG Unity against this 3-1-1 from Complexity.
Yeah, this bottom lane's kind of lost their creep equilibrium. The range creep's already died on the Dire side, which means it's going to push out, so they'll be forced to either do a side pull here, or they're going to be giving Monkeys a lot of XP. It looks like Monkeys should be in for a pretty good time as far as being able to get some XP out of this lane. Already going up Shadow Demon's going a bit aggressive at this bottom lane.
Oh, got the disruption.
Missed this round though.
Yeah, simply just trying to force Monkeys away from it. Top lane, meanwhile, though, Complexity moving in with the tri-lane. Kangaroo pulling incredibly low. They'll look to chase him out. He's trying to juke it, but he's already used his spells. And Swindly Malones will take first blood, bringing down Kangaroo.
Yeah, he's not on the Leshrac we've been seeing. That's in Z-Freak's hands, but still on point with the Winter Wipe, an immediate TP back. There is a lot of experience waiting for them in this top lane, but that's something Swindles is already looking to deny with that side pull. And that's 3 range creeps. That's a lot of XP. Those range creeps, you don't want to lose those as an offlaner, but damage has been done, and it looks like Kang is going to struggle to get as much XP as he'd like out of this lane.
And we can see already Z-Freak just maximizing efficiency, getting the stacks done. We'll be under the watchful eyes with that Radiant Observer Ward, though, so Warriors Gaming are going to know what's going on.
Yeah, because of the stack, he gets the rune late, so it will go the way of the Kunkka, but just an illusion rune, not something Kunkka can make too many plays off of.
Top lane again, just a lot of harassment onto Kang, trying to minimize the experience that he's able to gain from this offlane. And talking about offlanes, down on the bottom, over to the side of Complexity. Monkeys, again, level 3, not finding a lot of CS. Looks like he's having trouble getting close and personal with this SD Luna lane, and now with the pulls, Warriors Gaming able to secure a little bit of a better momentum to make sure that RJ has the safety to get that farm he needs.
Level 3 is a lot for an offlaner this early on, and that's, I think, partly why they want to rotate Lesh down here. They feel they can get kills.
Z-Freak not able to quite get in range there for the follow-up stun, and now Warriors Gaming just turning to fend him back off. Z-Freak, we'll see how much he wants to hang around down here. I mean, how much can this Lesh get it done? Can he rotate towards the mid and look towards Nana, or is that just a gank that's not worth using resources for at this stage?
Probably lacking the damage to get that kill. Cancel has gone for the double arrow Starstorm, hasn't got any points in the leap, so they have got a bit more damage output, but he's going to be stronger paired with the Spirit Breaker. Shadow Demons and Luna both very squishy in this lane. There is the potential disruption save, but disruption could also set the split earth, so you've got to be very careful about how you use that spell.
Lane again, though, a bit of a skirmish going on between the two. Arfu and Moo both falling low. Moo's starting to salve up. They can't get anything to tick it off, and it's going to be Complexity taking down one. Now look towards Kang as well, but with the purification, it will be enough to allow him to walk off. But this top lane is kind of all falling apart here for Warriors Gaming, giving away 2 kills already in the first 3.5 minutes to Complexity.
Yeah, really nicely played. The coordination between Swindles and Moo is on point so far. They've gotten 2 kills up here, and WG's offlane is just kind of struggling here. Omni Knight has managed to hit level 4, so it's not really hurting their overall strategy too much, but it is giving Complexity a lot more than you're perhaps hoping for, with Moo already off to a good start, 18 CS and helping out in 2 of those kills. Now you see the overall CS, there's 3 green numbers up there, all CSing well, so I think overall WG Uni can't be too upset with this laning stage despite the kills they've given up.
Absolutely, that mid lane matchup, 23-4 against the 12-3. That's an absolute win at the moment for Nana. They need to do something about it. They have brought Z-Freak across. He's got an arcane rune, so we'll see if he's able to get a couple of stuns out potentially.
I think without a third hero, this is just not a viable kill. He's already got the 15 stacks. If he's starting with 0, you can go for it, but a third, potentially 4th hero is needed. Winter Wyvern is coming from the top room with a smoke.
He's got an infused range drop as well. It's such a hard hero to gank.
Bringing in number 4, it's a Spirit Breaker charge.
They're committing everything for this one. They need to make it work. Complexity Monkeys to lead the way. Overfly Swindles. They'll get the follow-up stun for Z-Freak. Looking for the arrow. They do get the connection, and with that, they should find the kill. It's a hard one, but they do get it done. Complexity committing 4, but it's the right call to make as they crush the mid, who was already crushing Cancel, doubling the CS of that Mirana. They needed to shut him down.
Yeah, great call from Captain Swindles there, making the solo smoke rotation, but he already had the 2 heroes coming in from bottom, so completely catches Timbersaw by surprise, and that is a much-needed kill because of that CS discrepancy you were talking about. Does free up that mid lane a bit for Cancel to catch up a little bit. He even goes back in the jungle to get an arrow off, so really nicely played there.
Up on the top lane, at the moment, Arfu just hiding in the trees. Swindles will find him out. It looks like Complexity are going to try and make a little bit of a go. The Splinter Blast not going to quite clip onto Arfu as Swindles just continues to whittle down that stack that he's got created by the side pull. And at the moment, as you said, even though the kills are going the way of Complexity, farm-wise, the edge certainly is still there for the side of Warriors Gaming.
Yeah, a lot of Radiant Vision, though, scouts out the aggression of Z-Freak and Monkeys down here. They should know fairly well where they're positioned down here, so WG Uni shouldn't be getting caught by surprise. Shadow Demon is ready to defensively disrupt as needed.
We'll see if any of these runes are going to be huge in terms of play. There's a haste rune up top. I want to look to get it yet, but this could paramount for the side of Complexity to continue to find another kill, which they need to do. Losing the farm game at the moment, they need to find something in return. And mid lane, that's going to be potentially where they have their eyes on again. Monkeys already moving into position.
Be careful about the aggression now. Luna's hit level 6, so there's that potential for a TP in with Eclipse. It's one of the probably big ways for WG Uni to turn around some of these ganks that Complexity seem to be very keen to kind of set the tempo early with the rotations. Seen the Winter Wyvern move Spirit Breakers, hit level 5, so he's ready to get active.
And again at top, trying to chase down Kang, but as you said, even though he goes down the first few times, because he's still got that XP and he's nearly reaching onto level 6, it's becoming a very hard hero for just the Weaver and the Wyverns to do anything about. Meanwhile, in the jungle, Ajit trying to not mess around, pops the Eclipse, but Monkeys able to charge away. And that's going to be the ultimate on cooldown for a good couple of minutes.
Yeah, that's really big when you can have that ulti come out and now you've got 2 minutes where you don't have to worry about it. If you go diving for a kill in mid or at top, there's no threat of a Luna TP in with Eclipse. She could theoretically TP in with a Lucent Beam. She's going aggressive bottom and yeah, no escape for Z-Freak. Easy setup and kill there.
Yeah, they may not have been able to take down Monkeys, but good rotations from WG.
Yeah. Overall, this early game's been really solid for the two WG carries, like the mid and the safe lane farmer. Both of them are top as far as overall net worth goes, and it's only really the supports who are perhaps a bit on the poorer side. WG Uni, despite giving up the kills, did manage to outlane Complexity.
I mean, you can just tell that by looking at the CS of the Omni Knight. He's nearly got the same as Mu. It's 31 at this stage of the game. The farm that he's found on this offlane, considering the fact that he was taken down twice, is pretty remarkable.
Yeah, and now he's level 6, so he's got Purification, Repel, point in degen. He's saving a skill point in case he needs an ultimate for some kind of situation. This is where WG Uni get very scary if they're grouping up to push towers. Ideally, they group up as 3 or 4 and still try to maintain this farming efficiency that is giving them the advantage over Complexity.
And mid lane, just Nana playing incredibly aggressively, making sure to keep Cancel in his place.
One of the maybe limitations of COL Strap, they're very magic damage heavy, which is normally good against a Timber, but we could very easily see, I mean, Nana's got the raindrops, could just rush the straight hood, and then he gets very tanky and hard to kill. Mid lane.
Cancel trying to play his way out of this. Has got the Moonlight Shadow. They've dropped down a sentry. And not enough follow control to bring down the Mirana, so Cancel will be okay.
Strong respect to the potential for rotation from some of the dire supports there as well. Never know when that charge is coming in. Speaking of charge, Monkeys has that with the Nether Strike. He's hit level 6, so his threat for ganking gets that much scarier.
And one thing we've got to consider as well, when the team fights do begin in a full scale, as you said, this Timbersaw is going to be hard to kill. And just the backup that they've got, the defensive capabilities. You've got an SD there for the saves, an Omni for the saves. You're going to have the Kunka's Rum on you as well. It could be incredibly hard for Complexity to find those quick pickoffs with the magical damage that they've got when the team fights do start. Yeah,
we'll likely have to see someone even rush a defusal earlier than they would like to.
Bottom, Mu, eyeing up our Jit. They're going to come in for a couple of attacks. Monkeys, he's going to hold back, look for the ultimate to set up onto Luna. Luna falling low, needs some sort of help. Is she going to get in time? She's not Argit to fall. Arfu trying to turn around with the X-Mark Torah combo onto Monkeys with the rotation from Nana. They'll take down the Spirit Breaker. Arfu falling low here to the Pulse Nova, but he's got the Repel. Will start to walk it up the right click from Cancel. One more as he jumps forward, will find another. It's 3 for 1 at the moment here. Complexity coming out on top. Now chucked out by Cancel, but it's not going to connect. Kangaroo Nana forced back, and COL will take the trade there. 3 for 1. both teams bringing everyone down to the bottom lane for that fight.
Yeah, and the most important thing is Complexity were there before the aggression even came. Mu was hiding in the trees ready for the dive, and it's important to have to kind of anticipate your opponent's movements rather than react to them. If you react to that aggression by TPing in with 2 or 3 heroes starting with the Weaver, you're not going to get those kills. But because Mu is already there, throws the swarm immediately as the next TP comes, Complexity got the numbers advantage, and Mu was able to chase down, get the initial kill on Luna, and then even get the Shadow Demon in the backline. So great decision making from him to be ready before the aggression even came.
And a couple of different calls being made here by either side. Warriors Gaming, off the back of losing the fight, still want to make use of the fact that they've got the majority down here and are looking to take a tier 1, but at the same time, Complexity, they're farming up in all lanes, pressuring the mid tier 1 themselves. We'll see who's able to get a favorable trade. Warriors Gaming will finish off the tower bottom. Mid lane will start to TP over to look to defend it. Arfu with the eyes onto Swindles. Isn't able to get the vision for the X-Mark. Tries for a blind torrent. That won't connect. So the X-Marks bringing him back into Kangaroo's arms, and also more coming across, but Cancel has posted the Moonlight Shadow, make sure that Swindles can flap his way back to safety.
Yeah, we'll get Swindles out first. It's a pretty long cooldown to be using. Charge coming in mid now from Monkeys. They want to go, but Kang is a difficult kill. They want to secure this mid tower.
It could be messy. There's a fair few members of WG towards the mid, and indeed Monkeys holds off. It was a nice attempt, you know, as we saw. They used the Moonlight defensively, but Cole said we can maybe try and use this against them and surprise them with an attack.
And now bottom lane Complexity, they see heroes mid, they're immediately pushing again. This is something that Winter mentioned Leshrac has over other supports, his pushing power, and we're seeing it here. That was a full HP tier 1. Dietrich just swoops in with a level 3 Edict and it's gone. Took no time whatsoever. That's a big punish from Complexity. WG getting really put back in their place for 5-manning a bit too much. We saw them 5-man. Bottom now they're over towards the mid lane, and that's kind of how you want to play against this, is make sure you're getting more on the other lanes away from WG Unity, and then at the, like, if you've got everything in place, then you defend, but if not, you go for that split push play.
Absolutely, and at this stage of the game, you've got the pushing power of a Luna, but on a support hero, so trades are going to favor your way if you find the opening to do so. And we can see mid already just pushing onto the tier 2. Z-Freak isn't stopping.
Again, he's got the level 4 Edict this time. He's a little bit scared, seeing a few heroes missing on the map, knowing he's very squishy and will back off. But that was some good damage onto that tier 2 as well as the tier 1 bottom.
On mid lane, Complexity will finish off the tier 1 mid. X-Nova and Arfu coming in for the defense. And already around the back of it, Kangaroo comes in with a purification, bursts down. Monkey's low move. Will get brought back here by the X-Mark. Sentry was down, but nothing to follow through on it. They will get the disruption, soul catch onto Swindles, and Swindles just melts there to the burst of Warriors Gaming. The rest of Complexity just looking to get themselves back out to safety. Z-Free
again
staying adamant on this bottom lane. Will get the tier 2 down to half health nearly.
Decent damage there. He forced out the reglyph as well, so the tier 1 mid tower reset the glyph, and then he immediately gets it out once more. So now they know if they go for another push or he finds himself in that position to play the split push game, there's no glyph to worry about.
Monkeys. Goes onto Arfu. Does have an ult as well as the backup of Cancel. They'll hit the arrow. Cancel coming in close and personal, and great control and play from the two of them to take down a free kill and allow the pressure to continue on the tier 2 down bottom. Meanwhile though, Warriors Gaming working on the tier 1 mid. Swindle's going to come across and try and use the Splinter Blast to hold them back. We'll see if they get this one done, and we'll also see if Complexity are able to finish off that push down bottom at the same time. As we can see, the Warriors Gaming committing the more resources in the mid lane here for this push.
Complexity just seems to be pushing faster because of the Edict. Like, Luna's one of those heroes who takes items before she becomes a real pushing threat, and we're just seeing just the Dragonlance treads for now. I mean, this is not an underfarmed Luna by any means. It's more the fact Luna takes more time, needs 2-3 big items, needs like a Manta, needs more items on top of this to really threaten buildings. And Edict, you don't need items. Level 4 Edict pushes the same at any stage of the game, so we're seeing Complexity really threaten the WG Unity side of the map, and they've managed to get some nice deep wards into that Radiant jungle to perhaps set up some later kills as well.
So WG regaining the control though. Bottom lane is no longer being pressured upon by Complexity. The rest of the map starting to open back up for the team. It's complete on Nana, working towards his next item, as we saw it on Cancel. Point boosting, I believe, has got about 2k nearly on top of that. Okay, just 1k at the moment, so still a bit of time before we are going to see the Ags come out.
And the cores for both teams very even on farm. You look at the Weaver, the Luna, they're almost identical. The Timber, them around, it's a small edge going the Timber's way. And Luna has got one Ancient stack there, but hasn't got the Helm of the Dominator, so it's purely relying on supports or heroes to be in the neighborhood to get those stacks going. And That's something which Luna just hasn't had the farm to fall back on because they've been 5-man. They haven't been prioritizing the farming efficiency.
Top lane Swindle's just dropping a Winter's Curse immediately onto the Omni Knight, allowing Z-Freak to finish off the tower.
He's running in.
And they're going to Moonlight get the hell out. There's no detection on WG, and he's going to be able to ward this one off.
Runs forwards through them and out of there. Well, okay. What happens when you have those sentry wards, and that's something kind of mentioned earlier. The supports for WG Uni very, very poor because they have to keep purchasing all this detection. The vision game becomes so important, and that's where Complexity have the invis of the Weaver as well as that Moonlight Shadow, which is denting that WG Unity economy.
Z-Freak, of course, working for that Yule Sept as of next. Nana heading across, but again, no catch. They do get the T-Wall by the looks of it. WG over that into the Raging Ancients area. Mid lane, Swindles and Council. I am Nana. They do have a DD on the Mirana at the moment. Turn around onto Z-Freak though, quickly to hold him back. Nana moving in incredibly aggressively with the Chakram. Actually a little low on the mana front, and now COL looking for the turnaround. Looking for the Nether Strike, but the Torrent will hold back Monkeys and Z-Freak. Z-Freak falling incredibly low. X-Mart back into the Timber Chain and Nana. That's going to be one down on COL, and WG Unity, they're not done yet. Moving in onto Council, they'll take down a second. And not a lot of Complexity can do to hold that one back there. Warriors Gaming just running straight down the middle, and COL unable to hold them.
Well, we're kind of past that point where Complexity can 5v5 fight. They made a good hold at bottom because they had Weaver in a good position and they caught WG by surprise. But if WG are ready with 5 heroes, you don't want to 5v5 into the Omni Knight. He's got level 4 Purification, the 2 points in Repel is more than enough, and Nana on the front lines, 1200 HP, reactive armor, and the hood.
Swindles, again, a little bit of a questionable curse there. It's not going to get anything achieved with that one as WG just remain in position and hammer down onto the tier 2.
Really hoping to get that Luna to be attacking the Omni in that curse, but every time they see Swindles moving forward, Argit repositions further away.
And more money in the bank for WG as they take the tower. They do get the X-Mark into the Torrent back onto Mirth. They got the control to bring him down. Yes, they do! Just that little mini stun there with the Lucid Beam holding him back so he can't get the time lapse out. That's very nicely timed.
That's such a big kill to get as well. They'd already taken the tier 2 tower, which was giving WG Unity a ton of momentum and a bit of a gold advantage. And now with that kill, it's a high value target as well as another follow-up tower. They're going to get this tier 2 top tower uncontested, no trade in sight. Complexity immediately drew lines down this bottom line, basically saying, hey, we're going to push out this bottom lane. We need to start going back to what was working, which was threatening to split push when Z-Freak was doing damage to the tier 2 bottom. When they're farming the enemy jungle where it's much safer to be right now, they need to avoid WG as much as possible. They're going to TP Omni back. He buys a mech and he's been X back in. This is going to be a mech high ground push.
This push is going to be very, very scary for Complexity to try and deal with.
They've even got a pipe.
They've got it already here, WG.
Well, have they got the damage is the question. They've got level 4 Disruption, Lunar Illusions. If this tower goes down, then the Bouncing Glaives will potentially destroy them. Level 4 Bouncing Glaives, 6 bounces per attack. You've got to defend this tower. You can't let it get to the racks.
Got to do something, and Monkeys trying with a bit of an opening just to charge onto Nana. That can easily pop by Kang. Nana stays firm here up on the high ground. They look at the X-Mark Torrent combo once more onto Mu. Putting him back to top. Arrow flies through. Isn't going to connect from Cancel. He's heading back over, still just 500 short of that Aghanim, something that is desperately needed for defenses like this. But at this stage, with the pipe on Nana, you could ask yourself how much that would actually change things. Nana moves in aggressively. Monkeys caught in the torrent, both flying through as well. Monkeys is down. 30 seconds down on the sidelines in Complexity. They're going to have to hold this one 4v5. Buyback is available, but yeah, they move, getting incredibly close to death. They do the arrow connection onto Kunkka, but the repels there from Kang. And the follow-up physical damage is just not there at the moment from Complexity's lineup. They've lost to tier 3, and Warriors Gaming, I mean, they're not showing any sign of leaving anytime soon. They're going to remain in this position and continue to push on to the racks at just before the 19-minute mark here.
Nana doesn't even have to use his pipe. He's holding it for a fight, but Complexity, they don't want to engage. They've hit an arrow and Luna. Is this go time?
It is a good arrow, but again, the follow-up is so hard to commit. Kangri just sitting on the back line, throwing out the repels and the purification. Swindles himself getting cut down incredibly short. Nana going in deep, has to put the pipe to keep himself alive. Arjit though comes in with the Eclipse, forces Complexity to back up.
That's the ulties, but they're going to get at least a range Rex and then they're going to back off likely.
Here we go again, arrow into the charge. Repel again from Kangri, making it so hard for Complexity to commit onto one target. Warriors Gaming now starting to back up. Mu chasing down Arfu, jumped up in the air. Cancel's going to be dropped though. The first casualty on COL. Z-Freak to fall as well. Double kill for Arjit. There'll be a Winter's Curse coming out to Kangaroo, but the damage during it isn't enough to bring him down. WG move forward for more, take a third. Nana now on a killing spree, and it really feels like Complexity's draft just hasn't got it in it to hold back this push at this early of a stage.
They picked the Winter Wyvern to try and deal with his pushes. It's not the Winter Wyvern that's failing so much, it's the rest of the draft. Something also mentioned was the Spirit Breaker. You can't charge into this team. There's a Torrent, there's a Boat, there's a Timbersaw. I mean, all these heroes basically make the Spirit Breaker an irrelevant hero. Monkeys has played a great game. He contested that offlane so well, but his hero cannot fight into the WG Unity draft, and now it is a 20-minute top racks claimed as Complexity have their work cut out for them. They just hit this perfect timing where it wasn't like any of this, oh, let's get Roshan and then we go for the push. WG's like, no, we go now. We just took the last tier 2 towers. We've had just been picked off. They felt like they were strong with the mech plus pipe. These items are really good when you first get them in this mid-game stage. You don't want to just drag the game and go late with these kind of pickups, and boy, did WG Unity punish Complexity there.
Absolutely. It just feels like the timings haven't been there for COL. Going back down to the mid lane start off, the fact that Cancel fell behind and still 20 minutes in trying to finish off that Aghanim Scepter because of the lack of farm in the early game. And then, of course, Mu still desperately trying to finish off that Diffusal Blade, something that might be able to allow COL to get these defensives successfully. They need to somehow take down the target without having to worry about Kangaroo backing him up.
Yeah, that's the biggest reason why that Rax went down without a fight. It kind of looks like, oh, why Complexity is giving up a Rax without fighting? Well, the only way to fight is to jump one here and burst them down, but that's just not possible versus an Omni Knight. That's what Omni Knight gave this draft, that ability to prevent that single target burst damage. Not just the Omni Knight, but the Shadow Demon Disruption to save. They've got this great saving potential and the damage negation coming from the Kunker's Ghost Ship, the run there. So the possibility to burst down one target just isn't there. They still haven't got the Ag Scepter quite yet completed on Cancel, and because of this, until they get this Diffusal, Complexity just going to have to avoid fights. And even with the Diffusal, it's still very tricky playing around all the heals, because it's not just the Repel or the Guardian Angel. It's the fact there's this heal as well as Shadow Demon Disruption to keep people alive.
Another tier 2 into the pocket of WG. Nana now with the Bloodstone. You really cannot afford to lose team fights now against this lineup. If he starts to rack up the Bloodstone charges, he's going to be nigh on unkillable for Complexity, and that tier 3 push coming in. At the same time, it looks like COL, they're just trying to go for a bit of rap. You've got two heroes up at the top, Z3 and Mu, the best pushers they've got on their lineup, trying to do something in return. Monkeys charging forward, trying to slow down this push of WG to allow his teammate to get something done that bottom, but the combos there from Kunker bringing down Monkeys. The racks are exposed, and WG, they continue to push. Z3 and Mu, they may finally back up. Indeed, it looks like Z3, he's going to remain there. Mu's already headed back to try and help out with this defense, but they're losing the bottom racks, and at 22.5 minutes in, Complexity losing 2 sets of racks against WG.
Yeah, Nana TP back just in time to make sure, okay, we're not going to lose a racks for this. We'll give you a tier 3 tower for taking your racks, but you will not trade racks with us. WG Unity, make sure they leave the pushing Luna and then get back and defend. That gives them a monumental lead here. 2 lanes of racks at 23 minutes in. Their lineup scales going into the late game. Timber, Luna, these heroes just shut. What? Luna? Excuse you?
I think he's messing about. That's not how you build BKB.
Oh, maybe in Southeast Asia. Maybe in their sectors. I don't know.
Oh my goodness.
Not here in Boston.
Well, now we have a very, very stacked looking curry there. Glimmer Cape coming out. BKB Yules for the members of WG Unity.
That's really the scariest part about losing 2 lanes of racks this early on, is the amount of money you get for it. And COL,
this is the kind of plays you've got to do.
Knew it was coming.
It's not up to a good start, and immediately WG smoke up themselves. They want to try and get the jump on COL. And they may just get it here with this wraparound. We'll see if Complexity are ready for this one. Still under the cover of a bit of smoke, some of the members. Warriors Gaming, they may just say, screw the smoke, we'll just push in your base and look for mega creeps. I mean, mid lane, Creep Wave already pushing up to the high ground.
They need a big Winter's Curse on someone like an Omni Knight to burst him down.
They need an absolutely massive Winter's Curse.
Followed up with like a Split Earth or an arrow to chain stun and get the kill, but even if you try chain stun the Omni Knight, then the Shadow Demon could repel and save him. Very difficult to get that kill.
That's going to have to be an incredible hold, and the start off here, it's not too great. Winner's Curse into Arjit doesn't achieve much at all, and already the combo coming and catching out Z-Freak and Swindles with the GA, allowing Wings Gaming to move in for more. They've not only just found one, they've forced out the buyback immediately from Z-Freak. Mu trying to draw them out to the back, but the Purification burst brings down the bug, and Mu does not have buyback here. 24 minutes in, Complexity getting absolutely battered at this stage, running back to the base, back to the fountain. 14-7. Z-Freak to die back as well. He's down for a full minute. And this game, it's all over.
Yeah.
GG, COL tap out. And Warriors Gaming, 25, an absolute clinical performance from there, from start to finish. Complexity did have a little bit of an up in the